She said maybe you can do a lesson on Wednesday on the two witnesses. I actually have a lesson that I did. Maybe I'll see if I can dig it out and upload it on the channel this week. But I know many people, the teaching was that that Elijah was coming back. Not Elijah. Elijah was taken up. According to the Christian teaching, Elijah never died, so he's taken up to heaven, so he's got to come back and die. Okay. That's what that belief is. And that at one point in time, they said it was Elijah and Moses. And the reason for that is because of this passage. I'm going to show you why they say that. Remember when Yeshua was on the Mount Transfiguration? Okay, so Luke 9:33. This is why the general belief, and this is a Christian doctrine. That's where it came from, Christian eschatology. All right. We're going to do a series on spiritualism. I mean, what I say we were going to talk about, not spiritualism. We was at the table this morning. Maybe we'll do a series on it. What was it?
You're talking about people having.
Was it the spirit world?
Yeah, something of that nature. Because we were talking about, you were talking about the experience that your dad had, and in the Bible where.
Yeah, the spirit world, it deals with angels. People have visitations by angels, seeing, because many people have said that they have seen angels and so forth, or they call it angels. Messengers of Yah. But so we had talked about the possibility of maybe doing a series on that, looking at the Malachim, because I kind of touched a little bit on that on a previous lesson too. The brother said I taught on it about 6 months ago. Yeah. I think, but not as in depth as I did on this one particular video that I think I still have in my collection somewhere. So in Luke 9, Brother Kai I'm assuming you're a brother. Okay. Luke 9:33 is where the Christians got the doctrine that Elijah, Eliyahu, and Moshe is going to be the two witnesses. It said because their teaching is that Moshe and never died, which we read that in another lesson, that Moshe's body is there. He did die. He's not up in heaven. And so the teaching is that, Eliyahu went up into heaven. He never died, so he's got to come back to die. And then the other one, so based off of Luke 9:33, the teaching is that the two witnesses is Moshe and Eliyahu, because when the Messiah was taken up, it says here, it came to pass as they departed from him, Shimon Kepha said unto Yahshua the Master, it is good for us to be here. Let us make 3 tabernacles, one for you, and one for Moshe, and one for Eliyahu, not knowing what he said. While he thus spake, there came a cloud and overshadowed them, and they feared as they entered into the cloud. And then the voice came and said unto him, this is my beloved son, hear you him. Right? And then Yahshua says, the voice was past, Yahshua was found alone, and they kept it closed and told no man in those days and in those things which they had seen. Now, preterist, or whatever you want to call it, teach that there are no prophecies left to be fulfilled. that all the prophecies have all been fulfilled. So according to them, that when the Messiah said to them that they will see him in his kabod, or in his esteem, or in his glory, that this generation shall not pass. That's what the preterist people teach, that they believe that everything in the book, all the prophecies have been fulfilled. Okay. And they believe that with passion. But to your question, back to your question. So yeah, so that's what they believe. The other piece that believes is Enoch. Enoch, the teaching and the belief is that Enoch was taken up into the third heavens, and he's up in heaven right now, looking down, smiling. Him and Elijah both been drinking coffee, talking about when we gonna come back and die. I'm exaggerating. But so that's another popular belief, that two witnesses are Enoch and Eliyahu. Okay? Now, then there's another belief amongst Hebrews that there's going to literally be two Israelites that are alive that are going to go to Jerusalem and preach. I remember somebody told me one day, they said, "You're going to be one of the two witnesses." I said, the devil is a lie. Because when you read about what happened to the two witnesses, they're going to be slain in the middle of Jerusalem. Their body going to be left there to die. Okay. So my question is, if you believe the two witnesses are individuals, right? Or do you believe the two witnesses are two types of people? Right? I believe the two witnesses are not individual persons. I believe the two witnesses are two different types of people, which are Gentiles and Hebrews. Okay? And why do I believe that? Because without going into a whole lesson to do it, the two olive trees, when we talked earlier about in Romans 11, where the wild olive tree, which was the Gentiles, and Israel being the natural olive, right? So I believe that the two olive trees represent those that are of the house of Israel, the one witness, and the other witness being somebody from the Gentile nations as the two witnesses, or not as per se a person. But if you notice and you look upon the world today, you see now you have people embracing the Hebraic covenant without the knowledge of who the true Israelites are, being us. But then there's a revelation that's resurrecting now amongst some of those in that circle that have embraced the covenant, and they are acknowledging that Israel is the so-called African American blacks and Negroes. Case in point, Dana Stevens. Okay, so you have people that are in that circle, in that mind, that acknowledge the physical seed, but they say we are also Gentile believers, and we have become a partaker with the covenant of Abraham through accepting the knowledge that these are the chosen people. So that's what I see as the two witnesses, not two individual persons, but two witnesses. And then I also see that the bodies laying in the streets as being not individuals, but a multiplicity of representation of people that is represented by one person, or I should say the two people, right? So we'll dig a little more into that. Now, a lot of Israelites think that is a false doctrine, and I've been labeled as being a false prophet because of my view on that and some other views that I have. So, but if you go to Yirmiyahu, just to add a little more to that, and I asked this question many years ago to some Hebrew teachers that I had respect for, and they didn't want to touch this passage because they had no knowledge of what it was making reference to. It's in the book of Yirmiyahu 31. She says, some teach that Judah and Israel are the two tribes. Yeah. That's because, see, you can't have the Gentiles and them camps that believe the Gentiles is Esau and Esau can't be saved. They're not gonna have nobody that don't look like us that come under the covenant. But there's a lot that has to be answered, because if you believe that all Europeans that are Edomites, as they proclaim, are not going to be a part of the covenant, then you're not going to be able to see anything that is outside of the physical Israel. You're not going to acknowledge that. They're not going to acknowledge that, right? So if you look at, and I'm open to debate. These brothers are not going to debate me on this subject. They'll disregard me. They won't even acknowledge me because they're so afraid that I will get hits on my channels and some of their people will start coming over here to start joining in with us. Because I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm not going to lie to you, tell you the white man can't be saved. That's stupid. It's not even scripture. Jeremiah 31 asked them to explain this here. They always got to explain a Gentile is a disobedient Israelite. That's the most foolish statement I've ever heard in my entire 56 years of living. It is a total brainiac, idiocentric belief at best. But Yirmiyahu, this is chapter 31 and verse 27 says, behold, the days come, says Yahweh, that I will sow the house of Israel and the house of Yehuda with the seed of man and with the seed of beast. I asked them to explain that. What does that mean? They wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole. I will. So you can't say that the seed that he's going to mix. Look what he said. I will sow the house of Israel. I will sow them with. If we look at that in the Hebrew, behold, days come, says Yahweh, I will sow. All right, what's the word for sow? Zarah. Sow, disseminate, plant, fruitsify. Right? So, in other words, I want to take and sow the seed, right? I will sow the house of Israel and the house of Yehuda with the seed, same word, zarah, the fruit, the plant, the sowing, the time, the posterity. So if you put it in proper perspective, I will sow the posterity, the offspring of the house of Israel and Yehuda with the offspring of man and with the offspring of beast. We know through prophecy who the beasts are. The beasts are the oppressing nations that oppress the children of Israel, from Egypt to Assyria to Babylon to Medes to Persians to Greeks to Romans. They are the beasts. They are the descendants of Japheth. So there are some Europeans that are going to be sold with Israel and Yehuda. It's clear. In case you couldn't get it, he didn't say just with the seed of men. That would be all right if he left it at that. But he said beast. We can look through the book and see every time the Most High talks about beast, he's talking about the Gentile nations. But they ain't ready. Because they want to hold on to that doctrine that the white man gonna be destroyed. White man is Esau. Esau can't be saved. And many of them, I'm gonna tell you the truth, brothers. Since the truth be told, that's the reason why they blackballed me. Because I was one of the primary ones teaching that Esau was the white man. Until the Most High took me through a study and showed me that that's not possible. Esau is Esau. Esau is the twin brother of Yaakov. Question you got to ask is, when did Esau become white? Imagine this now, brother and sister. You females, sisters, you and your husband, y'all married, you have a child. One comes out white and one comes out black. The husband is going to look at you and say, honey, you got something to say to me? You've been stepping out on me? How do we have two different colored children? We don't see none of that in the story of the birth of Yaakov and Esau, where Yaakov questions the loyalty of was it Rivkah? Yeah, Rivkah. We don't see that where he questions her loyalty. So I would question the loyalty if one of my if my Isha and I had a child at our late years, and one of them came out looking like a white man, and the other one came out looking not like me, I have a problem, right? So these brothers are teaching that doctrine that holds no water. So when you see things like this, they're not going to embrace that. They're not going to acknowledge that. How about, let's see. There's plenty of verses you can go to that can debunk that. How about the one where he says that my house shall be a house of prayer for all people? How do you explain that? That's Yoshiyahu 56. It says the Most High says, verse 6, 56 and 6, he says, the sons, let me bring it on the screen. He says, the sons of the stranger that join themselves to Yahweh to serve him and to love him, love the name of Yahweh, to be his servants, everyone that keepeth the Shabbat from polluting it and taketh hold of my covenant. So it's the word for stranger is, it says foreigner. It says a foreign or foreigner or a heathendom, an alien, stranger. So the stranger that joined himself to Yahweh. And he said, verse 7, and them will I bring to my Kodesh mountain and make them joyful in my house of prayer. Their burnt offerings and their sacrifices shall be accepted upon my altar, for my house shall be called a house of prayer for all people. When you look at this word all, it's the word kul in Hebrew, and kulam. Kulam means people. Okay. It says Yahweh Elohim, which gathered the outcasts of Yasharal. So he's making it clear. Says, yet will I gather others to him besides those that are gathered unto him. See that? So we can go all day and something we read earlier in Romans. Luke 21 and 24 will put the nail in the coffin completely, because the Messiah said this. Because these brothers say Gentiles are Hebrews in disobedience, right? So Luke 21:24 says what? They shall fall by the edge of the sword and shall be led away captive into all nations. So they're teaching that nations mean Hebrew Israelite nations. They shall be led captive into all Hebrew Israelite nations. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down by the Hebrew Israelite nations until the time of the Hebrew Israelite nations be fulfilled. Because they're saying that Gentiles are disobedient Hebrews. So how is Israel led captive into all Hebrew Israelite nations? And Jerusalem is trodden down by Hebrew Israelites until the time of the Hebrew Israelites be fulfilled. It makes no sense. Gentiles. We're talking about Gentiles. So they saying Gentiles are disobedient Hebrew Israelites. So that whole verse there makes no sense. If you go to Romans, we read earlier, Romans 11, and it says, okay, look at the verse where it talks about the Gentiles. Okay, verse 11. Verse 11 and verse 12. Verse 11 says, I say then, have they stumbled that they should fall? Elohim forbid, but rather through their fall, salvation is come to the Israelites, to provoke them to jealousy. So if the word Gentile is making a reference to Israelites, disobedient Israelites, then it makes no sense, because he said salvation is come to the Gentiles to provoke them. Salvation is come to the Israelites to provoke them to jealousy. All right, verse 12 says, Now, if the fall of them be the riches of the world, and the diminishing of them be the riches of the Gentiles. So you got to stop and ask the question now. If the fall of them be the riches of the world, and the diminishing of them, who is the them? Is it them, Israel? So the diminishing of them, the riches of the Gentiles. If the Gentiles is disobedient Israelites, then the question is, where is the riches of the disobedient Israelites? Their answer, they're rich in the spirit. So you got to have an answer for everything. So whenever you're holding on to a doctrine that doesn't hold water, you have to have an answer that doesn't make sense to the answer, to the original answer that doesn't make sense. If Gentiles is making reference to all Israelites, then how do you explain Genesis chapter 10 and 5? Genesis 10 and 5 says what? That you ready to eat? You hungry? Oh, they're eating. It's past our time. Okay. Genesis 10 and 5 talks, 2 through 5 talks about the sons of Japheth. And then it says, by these were the isles of the Gentiles divided. So if the Gentiles are Israelites, so you tell me that Japheth, Gomer, Magog, Madai, Tubal, Meshech, Tyrus, Gomer, Ashkenaz, Riphab, Togarmah, Yavine, Lish, Tarsus, Kittim, and Dodanim are Israelites? If Gentiles means Israelites, disobedient Israelites, then all of them sons of Japheth are disobedient Israelites. How can they be Israelites when Israel didn't exist at this particular time in history? Okay. So going back to Romans, the riches have gone to the Gentiles. Back to Romans 11 and 13. It says, for I speak to you Gentiles, inasmuch as I am an apostle, I magnify my office. So the Romans are the Romans disobedient Israelites? Because that's who he's talking to. He's calling them Gentile and saying that he is an apostle to the Gentiles. So why did Shaul go to the Galatians, which are the descendants of the Germans, or the progenitors of the German people, German and Celtic and Celtic people that hold the doctrine of British Israelism? Why did Shaul go to Ephesians, Ephesus? They are Gentiles, Greeks, or Colossians, right? Or the Isle of Colossae, or of Thessalonians, Thessalonica, or of who did I miss? Romans, Colossians. That's it. So Shaul said he was apostle to the Gentiles. So are you telling me that the Colossians are disobedient Hebrews? Well, brother, there were some Hebrews in those churches. Hebrews is everywhere, but the ethnic nation that is ruling are not Israelites. Because the doctrine that we teach as Hebrew Israelites is that Israelites are in captivity in the lands of our enemies. So how could the Galatians and Colossians and Ephesians be cities or states or provinces that are ruled by Israelites? And so the Gentiles are all those people that Shaul was sent to. So Shaul was sent to all Israelites that were in those lands, those provinces that were Greek provinces, right? No, so it's wrong. 25, Romans 11:25 says what? For I would not, brother, that you should be ignorant this mystery, lest you should be wise in your own conceits. That blindness in part has happened to Israel until the fullness of the Gentiles come in. So, if blindness in part happened to Israel until the fullness of Israel come in, that makes no sense, right? So if Gentiles is a disobedient Israelite, then it would seem like to me that they missed a good opportunity to say blindness in part has happened to Israel until the times of the Israel until all of Israel's blindness is fulfilled. I mean, it just shows you that these brothers have a reading and comprehension problem is what they have. You either have a denial, a willful denial, or they have a reading and comprehension problem. And I take the first one. I think they're just in denial. They don't want to acknowledge that they're wrong about their doctrine and the 12 tribes chart, which holds no water too. Okay. So let's see. Now, the two olives. What I want to. Okay, I'm gonna close on this. I got something. You asked me about the two witnesses. Let's see if I can bring it home. Okay. And we find in Revelation chapter 11, that's where we get the two witnesses, right? And I'm gonna show you something real quick, and then we're gonna. The two olive trees. Okay. So we got. That's verse 4. These are the two olive trees and two candlesticks standing before Elohim of the earth. So that pretty much explains it. Who the two witnesses are, right in the chapter itself, without even going any further. Revelation 11. What was it? 11 and 4. Okay. It says, there was given to me a reed like unto a rod, and the angel stood saying, rise, measure the temple of Elohim and the altar and them that worship therein. But the court which is without the temple, here we go again, leave out and measure it not, for it is given to the Gentiles. It is given to the temple. It says measure it. Leave it out, measure it not, for it's given to the disobedient Israelites. Now, can you see how foolish that sounds? Measure it not, for it's given to the disobedient Israelites. Why would the Most High kick Israel out for disobedience and then give them a place in the temple? It makes no sense. It's an asinine teaching that holds no water. And people send me invitations to join forums on Facebook. I don't want no Facebook forum. I want face-to-face confrontation. You want to debate me on the subject? Put your pretty face on the screen with me, and we can debate. I'm not going to debate on no text chat. I don't have patience to go on these Facebook forums and have debates with people. Do a video. Come do a conference live. Don't be a punk all your life. Stop sending me all these Facebook group invitations. Matter of fact, I have no problem. COVID-19 and all. Y'all got the money. I don't. Fly me to where you are and I can come in person and we can debate it. Y'all got the money. Y'all want collecting tithes, not me. I bet you won't do that. Stop sending me invitations to join these Facebook debate groups. I'm not going to do that. I like face-to-face confrontation. Face-to-face. Bring me on your channel. In front of all your subscribers. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. But it's just said I'm just raw. No, if I'm wrong, prove me wrong. Invite me on your channel, on your show, with all your thousands of subscribers. Call a meeting, tell everybody we're gonna have Kazak on our channel. We're gonna debate whether the Gentiles can be saved, whether the Gentiles are East Edomites or whether they Europeans or whether they disobedient Israelites. Invite me on the show. You ain't gonna do it. Come on. Come on, invite me. I'm not gonna give you no hits on your channel. It's not even about my channel. I could care less. Okay, now what was I at? The two witnesses. So verse 4, okay. So verse 2 says, but the court which is without the temple, leave it out and measure it not. It is given to the Gentiles. And the Kodesh city shall they trod underfoot 42 months. See how simple that sounds? So the Gentiles, disobedient Israelites, is given the temple, and the disobedient Israelites are going to trod it down 42 months. 3, and I will give power unto my two witnesses. Okay. So 2 is the word, it says numeral 2, which also is the word duo, both twain. Okay. 2 witnesses. Witnesses is the word, it just says martus, witness. Judicially or figuratively, generally, by analogy, a martyr. And they, so when you look at the English, that's what those things are. Okay. The word they shall, it says, I will give power unto my two witnesses and they shall prophesy. Okay. This says what? They shall prophesy or foretell, prophetuo, foretell events, divine, speak under inspiration, exercise the prophetic office. That's where they get that from, prophetic office. 1,260 days clothed in sackcloth. These are, here it is, these are the two olive trees. See that? These are the two duo olive trees. Okay. And the word is alea, an olive tree or the fruit. Okay. The two olive trees and 2 candlesticks. So you got 2 candlesticks. So 2 olive trees and 2 candlesticks, and the word for candlesticks is luknia, a lampstand, right? A portable lamp. Okay. And it says 2 candlesticks standing before the Elohim of the earth. That is, who's the Elohim of the earth? Right? The magistrates, it says here, Theos, deity, supreme divinity, figurative, or magistrate. Okay. So, in other words, they stand before the world. Stand before the two, before the world. Stand before the magistrates of the earth, or gay, which is the earth of the world. You have the cosmos, and you have gay, which is, this one is gay, right? Now, what I want to point out before, as I close this out, if you go to Jeremiah, Yirmiyahu 31, okay, which we just was there, right? Okay, 31. I think I read that one already, right? Didn't I? 31 and 31 and 27. But that's what about the mixing the seed. Yeah, sowing the house of Yehuda with the seed of beast. Now, to add to that, you go to the 2 candlesticks. Okay, let's see. Is that the one in the candlestick? Hold on a second. Oh no, it's the 2 candlesticks with 2 olive trees. Which one is that? Hold on. I think it's the olive trees. Okay, wait a minute. Hold on a second. That's not what I'm looking for. Okay, it's Zechariah. That's what it was. Zechariah 4. That's what it was. I had a note here. Zechariah 4 and 3. Okay, 4 and 3. Is that right? Is that 4 and 3? Okay, this is the vision of the golden lampstand. Okay, this is Zechariah 4. See if this will help out a little bit. Zechariah 4 and 1. The angel that talked with me came again and walked me as a man that is wakened out of his sleep, and said unto me, this is the prophet Zechariah talking, what seest thou? And I said, look, and behold, a candlestick all of gold, with a bowl upon the top of it, and his 7 lamps thereon, and 7 pipes to 7 lamps which are upon the top thereof, and the 2 olive trees by it, one upon the right side of the bowl, and the other upon the left side thereof. So I answered and spake to the angel and talked with me, saying, the angel that talked with me, saying, what are these, my master? Then the angel talked. Hold on a second. Then the angel talked with me, answered. The angel that talked with me answered and said unto me, knowest thou not what these be? And I said, no, my master. Verse 6. Then he answered and spoke unto me, saying, this is the word of Yahweh unto Zerubbabel, saying, not by might nor by power, but by my spirit. But by my spirit, let me see, hold on. But by my spirit, says Yahweh of Sabaoth. It's Sabaoth, I believe. Yes, Sabah. Who art thou, O great mountain? Before Zerubbabel, thou shalt become a plain, and he shall bring forth the headstone thereof with shoutings, crying, Cain unto it. Moreover, the word of Yahweh came to me, saying, the hand of Zerubbabel have laid the foundations of this house. His hand shall also finish it, and thou shalt know that Yahweh of Sabaoth hath sent me to you. All right, verse 10. For thou have despised the day of small things, for they rejoice and see the plummet, and the hand of Zerubbabel with those 7. They are the eyes of Yahweh, which run to and fro throughout the whole earth. Then answered I and said to him, what are these two olive trees upon the right side of the candlestick and upon the left side thereof? And I answered again and said unto him, what be these two olive branches which though the two golden pipes empty the golden oil out of themselves? He answered me and said, knowest thou not what these be? And I said, no, my master. Then he said, these are two anointed ones that stand by Yahweh of the whole earth. So that's the two olive trees. These are the two anointed ones. So you got, if you look at it in the Hebrew, right? These are the two Shanaim, which means dual. First being dual, it says second form being feminine. Two as an ordinal twofold, which is from 8145, which is what? All right. Shani, which means what? Double. That is second adverbially again, 8138. Shana, it says from. So that means double, right? So the double, the two, or the double, and it says, so that's the Shanim, the two Ben or Bane sons, right, of Yashar, oil or figuratively anointing. Yashar. So the two anointed ones that stand by Yahweh or by El Adonia of the earth. Okay, so now putting it together, this word is Adon, which means ruler or sovereign. It doesn't mean, this is the one time in the text that this word L-O-R-D is not a reference to the Most High. But it's the word is used here is Adon, which means rule, sovereign, controller, human or divine, right? So these two candlesticks are the two witnesses or the two anointed ones that stand before the rulers of the earth. So the Most High is coming. In other words, the natural born Israelite and those that are not the natural born Israelite would be the other olive tree. So you got the two olive trees, which are the two witnesses, those that are natural born and those that are outside of Israel that are confirming the testimony of Yahweh to the leaders of the nations. And we're seeing that come into fruition because the Gentiles are starting to resurrect with acknowledging, like I said, who Israel is, but yet they're embracing the covenant, saying these are the people, but we have embraced the covenant, right? So we're seeing that explode to the heights. And I believe once that other witness fully kicks in, because when you talk about Yaakov's trouble, it's not just talking about the natural born seed of Yaakov. It's talking about those that join themselves to the covenant. They reap a part of the judgment as well as the natural born seed, because why they come under that covenant and they become what? Persecuted. If you read in Revelation, we read earlier, it said that the beast was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, right? What did he say? They went to make war with the remnant of her seed. Read that Revelation. What was that? Revelation what? 12, wasn't it? 12 and 17. The dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of Yah and have the testimony of Yahshua. If you don't believe that anybody outside of the house of Israel can keep the commandments and the covenant, you won't get this. But when you get it, when you understand that there can be a people outside of the house of Israel who embrace the covenant that we read in Jeremiah 31, then we can see that there can be two witnesses. Okay? Not one, two. Those of the house of Israel and those that join themselves to Israel are the witness on the outside. That brother Dana is bold in what he's doing because he is actually fulfilling prophecy. So I prayerfully, you take that and you meditate on that, you meditate on that, you pray on that. If you disagree, or if you see that, take it to your elder or to another camp more and ask them what they think. Show them this clip. Cut this out. Right now we are 3 hours and 55 minutes in the video. So you can go back to maybe 3 hours and 45 minutes of the video and share that. At that particular point mark, once this becomes available. Or you can go to our Facebook or Periscope, because they generally, once I stop streaming, it's usually readily available on those two platforms. YouTube takes a while; they have to process. I don't know why; it's just so different. I guess they got so many videos coming, but like I said, share that 3 hours and 45 minutes of this stream. At that point, I'm not afraid. Share that with your moray or with another leader of the camp. Just know when you do share with them, they're gonna probably chop your head off with you. How dare you share something from that blasphemous teacher? I already know how they feel about me, so they might even entertain it. But for those that are willing to entertain it, share it with them and ask them what they think about what was shared. And I stand corrected, because if I'm coming wrong, if what I'm sharing is wrong, I stand corrected. I mean, I'm open to other views because I don't know everything. I only can share what the Most High reveals to me in my little finite mind. And so I pray that that it was a blessing to those that heard, and it brought some clarity to some things. So with that said, brothers and sisters, or my brother Kai Hai and everybody else that's still tuned in, I love you all with the love of Yah. My Isha left me. She must be hungry. She's making the food for us. And because we've been on here longer than normal. We've never been on this late. It's 4 o'clock. So keep your eyes tuned. Also, I want to say I make updates throughout the week for those of you that want to keep up with me, because this channel is for our Shabbat, but I have another channel called Ask Malachiah, and that's my my channel that that's my channel that I have to do my updates. Sometimes I'll upload videos frequently. It might be daily, or it might be every other day, or it might be twice a week, as things come across in the prophetic world, in the news and so forth, things of that nature. I have some new updates that I'm going to probably be sharing, some stuff that came up during this week, while everybody was out celebrating, not Hebrews, but while the world was celebrating Christmas. There were some things that took place. For example, they had this bombing in Nashville, Tennessee. And so there's some things going on with that. The leader of Iran is coming after Donald Trump, and he's made some proclamations, and these are things that they're not going to talk about on mainstream media. You got to dig and look far, and you see things like that. So my channel, Ask Malachi, not this one here, this is Priest Kazakia, is the channel where you can go and follow my feeds and stuff like that I put up. I also, on that channel, I will be doing videos where I will be challenging different doctrines and teachings of people, exposing and as well as rebutting things that people may put up on YouTube. So if you get something, if somebody has a teaching or something on YouTube and you want me to give my feedback on it, you know, you can send me an email and you can forward me the video and to my email at Moreh Kabod, M-O-R Kabod at gmail.com. So send me the link of the video, and as Yah permits, I'll look at it, and if it's something that I need to do commentary on, or sometimes it just might be a video that I might agree with, and I might take some points out of it and echo some points. So it's not always videos that I do commentary to rebut. Sometimes there are some things out there that holds a little truth to it, and I'll embrace it. So on that channel, on my Ask Malachi channel, that channel is dedicated to me dealing with things like that. So in the days of old, I used to rebut videos a lot on my original channel that was shut down, that I had from way back in 2006, but YouTube shut it down because I was getting threats from different people for putting up, exposing their doctrines as false doctrines or doctrines that don't have accuracy according to scriptures. So that channel is my channel. Ask Malachi is dedicated to that. So with that said, brothers and sisters, I have nothing else left. So we'll see you all again on the next Shabbat. Love you all with the love of Yah. Shalom.